You wake up already carrying yesterday's noise, thoughts spinning, body tense, a to-do list breathing down your neck before your feet even hit the floor. As a highly sensitive ADHDer soul, your mind isn't just busy, it's a kaleidoscope of 10 conversations, 6 worries, and 3 brilliant ideas, all of that at the same time. Hi, my name is May. I'm your neurospicy cyberwitch, and I'm here to help you understand why you're stuck and maybe give you a little inspiration as to how to change that. So, your energy follows your attention. One of my favorite sentences out of, the Huna philosophy way back when I started learning energy follows your attention. It's something that most of us have already felt. We've already known, right? The only problem as an ADHDer is that we get pulled all over the place with our attention. The typical one, oh, a squirrel, oh no, a unicorn, right? So we're already all over the place. And maybe even, what ifs, and then there's emotional parts and ripples around us that we feel, that we resonate with. And all of those things just leave us depleted, leave us without energy, right? We're like completely drained of that. Another thing that builds into this is old patterns and inner stories, especially the ones that run deep in our background, that are behind our normal day-to-day stories, right? But they build pressure. There's things that we have lived through in our past that are there because, at some point, because we wanted to save ourselves, we just pushed them back, right? And those things, I always call them the unseen backpack that we carry with ourselves, that sometimes turns out to be a huge luggage deal that we're having back there, that helps to amplify our whole overwhelm. So without a way to anchor that focus, our focus, we become even more a sponge for everyone else's energy. And that can actually take away hours, if not days, of our actual interactions with other people. What I want you to take away from this is that actually your energy currency is to focus. And I know everybody's going to be screaming, May, I'm an ADHDer. How am I supposed to be focusing? I know you can, because I know you have this wonderful tool that's called hyper focus. It's a wonderful gift that we all share. So I know focus is possible. We just need to motivate ourselves the right way. So what can you do to focus? And just to make this image clear that we have right now, imagine it like a full glass of water. Whenever you have that, every time you put your attention towards someone else, the more of that water spills to the other person's mood, to that worry because someone else told you, and now you're starting to worry about them, right? So our water keeps dripping and going, and moods, news, drama, and everything happening out there. And it does that until our glass is fully empty. Now, what are you going to do with an empty glass? Of course, you're not going to do anything because you're completely drained, overwhelmed, and can't do anything. And that's when the paralysis comes in, right? What I want you to take away, focus, right? Focus is a good thing, but also that you can choose every moment, from moment to moment, where your energy goes, even when you're in the middle of a chaos. And this is someone telling you that I've done it where it was chaotic, where I didn't know. And then from one moment to another, I just understood that I was like the eye of the storm, very calm, because I managed to refocus, but also doing it intentionally. Like, for example, when I go to Oktoberfest, it's a very conscious decision, but that's something for a different episode. So to come back to the point, you can choose in every moment where your energy flows, right? So you can choose where you want to focus it. And I know some people are going to go, no, May, how am I supposed to do that? I'm being pulled into all the directions. How am I supposed to feel that? That's so weird. And I'm going to tell you that it's possible. It's be too long if I put this all in a podcast episode, but I can tell you it's about doing it. For now, let's just focus on what is possible. So focusing is important. So when you focus it, that you're choosing it in every moment, you can choose where your focus goes, right? That's a very important thing. Then the inner calm doesn't mean that you have to stop your thoughts. That's a huge thing. I remember going like, okay, you go into the spiritual world, and everybody's meditating, and you're supposed to meditate too. And come on, tell an ADHDer that has, like I just mentioned, 5 different tabs, 9 tabs open in your brain, and 3 different pathways where thoughts are running through, right? Constantly. How is that going to happen? No, it's about creating the current that carries it, being conscious with your thoughts as to where they're going right now. Sometimes just allowing them to flow through, pass by, and go away by letting them, allowing them to pass by, right? And do that without it and all of this pulling you under. It's possible. So how about if you start connecting with your spiritual allies? So what are your spiritual allies? You can have them physically on this plane, or you can do that with your spirit guides. That's one of the very early practices that I started, and this is something as an ADHDer, you start doing the way that you're supposed to do it, and then you start creating your own. And I remember pretty early with my shamanic teacher learning that, yeah, there is shamanic journeys, right? Which is sort of like the meditation form of the shaman. And I have to say, for me, I love shamanic journeys because they're different than meditation. And I feel that they're way more made for ADHD brains. But anywho, not to go too deep into that, but it helps you connect with your spirit guide. And again, whether you call your spiritual allies, your guides, your ancestors, or just your supportive energy that surrounds you, they all can give you a felt sense that you're never holding it all alone. So that's the beautiful thing about our spirit guides. It's really a huge thing with our spirit guides. I believe that we need them. And the more you connect with it, in doing so, you're already focusing. So instead of, reacting to everything, instead of allowing all those things that you have, all those beliefs that you have had in the past, let's bring them to the past. Let's make it a shift from today on. Become an observer of yourself, right? Practice, and again, give yourself some grace. You don't have to do it right away. Give yourself grace to go step by step, but practice to become the observer of yourself. Practice to take a pause, take a breath. Just this wonderful question: where am I right now? What am I feeling right now? How do I want to engage right now? Before you even, do anything, practice to do that. A second thing, reframe your spiritual practices. Reframe them into micro moments. If you do a 30-second body scan, if you whisper a moment of gratitude in the moment where you're feeling the gratitude, or if you visualize the violet flame that dissolves some tension, a 30-second thing like this. Make it softer, make it easier for yourself. And trust me, to have a whole bunch of 30-second or, sort of like mini practices throughout the day, you are having already more, than if you would try 20 minutes or 30 minutes or 60 minutes in the morning, right? Because you're bringing in the energy throughout the whole day. Allow yourself for stillness to be your act of self-care, not of productivity. Allow stillness to be part of your daily routines, whatever routines you want to have, because I know routines is just, for us ADHDers, we have routines. They just look a little bit different. And inside of them, allow yourself to have moments of stillness, of calm, of pause, of regeneration. That's the thing about reframing it. Instead of seeing it as, oh my God, I'm procrastinating, put it back to, hey, what if right now I'm just regenerating? Let me regenerate for 10 minutes. Just me, my cup of coffee, and my Netflix, or me, my cup of coffee, or my cup of tea, or whatever, my 5-minute walking, because we have little kids in the house. For me, it's like going to my nieces, have 10 minutes with, shared with them whatever they're doing right now. I'll go and do it with them for 10 minutes or 50 minutes. That actually, because it takes me out of wherever I am. And it's sort of like a pause inside of my head, because in that moment, when you're with kids, it's always a little bit more like that, right? So remember that inner calm isn't something that you earn because you're doing it perfectly, the meditations and whatever practices. It's something that you can integrate in every moment, in everything that you do, in every breath that you take, in every choice that you make, that brings you closer to coming home to yourself. And if you want to explore deeper on how we can explore this together, how we can make these moments even more normal, these new form of more normal, if anything of this resonated, I want to invite you to join my Cybercoven. It's a very wonderful space that I'm creating especially for us witchy and highly sensitive ADHD out there. You'll find the link in the description below. I hope you enjoyed today. And as always, I love to finish with some kindness and grace for you. So I'm breathing it in for all of us. Some kindness and grace. We are humans and we are on the path. It's the important thing. Everything else can come one step and one day at a time.